This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel. And today, of course, we've got a lot of news. I don't know how much of it I'm going to get to. Trying to get this one out before Ball with Pirates tonight. And it's going to be an interesting one for the Oilers because this is the news we're expecting. But is it news that's going to change the roster next year? Probably not. This is obviously the look at the Oilers extending qualifying offers to Jujhar, Khaira, and Puljujarvi. I think number one, we have to get to the Puljujarvi move and what that means. Puljujarvi, extending him a qualifying offer allows us, even if he goes to Europe next year, whether it be the KHL, the Finnish Elite, whatever it be, if he goes overseas, we retain his rights by offering him a qualifying offer. That's as bare bones as we can get it down to. But guys, the one thing I have not made clear enough when it comes to Puljujarvi and the reason why this whole mess exists at this point is it's very, very simple as to how messed up this situation is for Puljujarvi. He started in the league at 18 years old, played 28 games, had 8 points. Yes, okay, I've heard talk that his contract dictated NHL games before he was ready per se. I haven't read anywhere in I have not read his contract, so I can't confirm that. I haven't seen any news sources on that, but you guys keep saying it, so I'll throw the bone there and mention it. But 8 points in 28 games. He was that highly touted man. He was a finisher. We were going to see beautiful things out of him. We saw 1 goal in 28 games. The deployment, though, is, of course, the question with him. In 65 games 2 years ago in his 19-year-old season, he kind of broke out, had 20 points in 65 games, a little bit more balanced, 12 goals, 8 assists. We were starting to see the turning point, and guys, we all expected Puljujarvi to come through and really do something in 2018-2019. The thing is, I think there was something wrong with him from the beginning of the year. That's the problem. Right from the beginning, those hips were bothering him. And A, the Oilers ignored it. B, Puljujarvi ignored it. And C, it created a mess. Had 9 points in 46 games, 4 points in 4 games down there in Bakersfield. Got into a fight in Bakersfield. He should have been left in Bakersfield until he was shut down. That's realistically the way it should have went with Puljujarvi. However, it didn't. That's the problem. With Puljujarvi, it didn't. But now the Oilers are basically doing exactly what they have to do. The 5% pay raise, cover their button, and go and take care of business, whether it be with Puljujarvi in the lineup next year or not. That's the thing. He's free to do whatever the hell he wants at this point. Qualifying offer's been worked out. If they want to work out a contract to get him back in the NHL next year, sure. But right now, all indications, as has been for the past week, Puljujarvi is going back overseas. That's fine. That's dandy. It is the mess we live in right now as Oilers fans, and we'll deal with it. That's essentially what we have to do. Ken Holland, completely fine with dealing with Puljujarvi's mess. So, mint. We'll wait for the deal and we'll find it to be right. That's exactly what we need to do at this point as the Oilers, and especially if your new general manager, Ken Holland, coming in to change the tides of how the team's been run, trading top-end prospects for peanuts. That's the thing, right? If you're going to continue that trend, you might as well just walk out the door and let somebody else have the job. And Ken Holland very much so strong-arming Puljujarvi and his agent into doing the right thing and getting either a good deal for the Oilers or being a key piece of the Oilers moving forward. Make up your mind. Let's do this. That's essentially what he's saying to the agent and to Puljujarvi. So, where does that leave us? That leaves the qualifying offer. Yes, it's checked off. Boxes are teed and crossed, and we're good for now. Now, that also leaves us a qualifying offer with Jujhar Khaira, which is essentially, this one prevents the offer sheet, which I really don't think you're going to see with Jujhar Khaira. It essentially draws him back in the lineup next year. And Khaira, this is the problem with Khaira, is that injury this year really stunted where he was going. Jujhar Khaira, guys, we saw him with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at times this year. He looked like he was ready to become a legit second-line force that Milan Lucic used to be. That's what he was looking like at times. I mean, you talk, I can't remember the time. I couldn't name the part of the season, but there were 2 or 3 instances where he had 3 or 4 game stretches where it was time for Jujhar Khaira to become a monster on the Edmonton Oilers. He still is, don't get me wrong. The guy can crack some skulls and put some pucks in the net if given a chance, but other than that, he wasn't really doing much because of the injury, right? 60 games. When he came back after injury, he was slowed down. It wasn't quite Jujhar Khaira-esque from earlier in the season, and there were a couple complications to it. But the thing that really was noticeable this year, in comparison to the year before, right? The year before, he scored 11 goals, 10 assists, 21 points, 69 games. So things were looking up. Things were looking really good for those two stretches with Nuge, and then only scored 3 goals. But the thing is, when he was playing with Nuge, the puck was getting to the front of the net. The puck was going in the net. That's the beautiful part that was Jujhar Khaira with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Everything funneled to the net. And other than Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, nobody else at the time was doing that. So that was very, very, very massive for the Oilers when they got the Jujhar Khaira and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins combination going those couple of times. 18 points in 60 games played, a -12. That's just credit to probably a little bit at the end of the season and where he played most of the season. But Jujhar Khaira, the other side too, 43 penalty minutes. So he's got to try and pick his spots with fighting a little bit better and null down the 2-minute minors. And we think we have a very good forward. And I think you get him for a qualifying offer, it's going to be very good for Jujhar Khaira if we can get him in here. Probably sign a contract somewhere around $1 million, that's what I'm expecting. But qualifying offer-wise, I think that brings him in at probably just around $700,000 or something. Hold on, let me see if I can get the cap-friendly number on Jujhar Khaira, because this is the fun part about him, is if we get him for that qualifying offer on a 5% pay raise, Jujhar Khaira right there, RFA, he's been qualified. He was making $88.75, so we're getting him for, hold on, where are we? No, $675. Pardon me, $675 cap hit. So we'd be getting him for about $750. $750 for Jujhar Khaira with a chance to break out a healthy offseason, another year, and a chance to be a force. Guys, you could see a tandem partnership. I like the word tandem this offseason, in which you see Jujhar Khaira, Joakim Nygard working together to give Ryan Nugent-Hopkins what he needs at certain parts of games or certain parts of the season. That's exactly. And of course, the problem is, yes, I can talk about the Oilers having a left winger for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, but the problem is they need a right winger who's going to finish goals. You can have Jujhar Khaira and Joakim Nygard. Sure, they might score enough goals to help, but you need someone that's going to score enough goals to get us somewhere on the other wing. And that's, of course, where we lead into the talk of the past few days, the meeting, of course, that happened today with Brett Connolly and his agent and the Oilers, and we'll talk about that hopefully in another video either tonight or tomorrow. But you look at it, and so you look at it at the big picture. You see, yes, Puljujärvi, that box is checked. You see Jujhar Khaira, you know what, offering that qualifying offer might just get us that savings we were looking for with him. If we can get him for under $1 million, guys, we are fine and dandy. And I mean, Jujhar Khaira, depth player, right? Depth, bottom six. He fills a fourth line, third line role most times, but we know what can be there if he can take that next step. He's a big bruising forward who can get to the front of the net, get to the corners, get pucks moving, and get Nugent-Hopkins scoring. We've seen it. It's happened. So to give it a shake of the fist and say, we're doomed, well, it's not quite fair if we get Jujhar Khaira for a reasonable price. Now, I mean, you go get Jujhar Khaira for $2.75 million, guys, you might as well kiss it goodbye, right? That's the stupidity of it. But realistically, with this qualifying offer, yes, you had to do it if you're going to keep him anyway. But at this point, it just saves ourselves the hassle of maybe offering him a full contract. That's the read into the lines right there. Yes, Puljujärvi, I's and T's dotted and crossed, and Jujhar Khaira hopefully back in the fold for either the qualifying offer or sub $1 million, and we look forward to having that little bit, $200,000 extra cap space for the Oilers this offseason is going to be critical. And if you just found it in a guy like Puljujärvi's going overseas, and you just found it in a guy like Jujhar Khaira, guys, fine and dandy, I will take it. That is fine and good. So let me know what your thoughts are on today's moves down in the comment section below. Of course, I've already covered the Toby Rieder and Rattie not getting qualified. Their UFAs. Goodbye. Good riddance. We are fine, Danny. Let's go. But that's it. That's all I got for you. I'm going to go head out to ball now. We'll catch you guys, as always, in the next one. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Zap didn't stick around long. I am up on out of here.